Welcome everybody to the Eduardo Asylum. This is just a silent edition, no intro, none of that. Gonna be unedited, beyond belief. Then again, I've been kind of lazy with my editing lately anyway. So, alright, so, we're here to talk about the Battleground predictions, as well as a little tidbit of news. And I'm sorry I didn't make this video earlier. I've just been busy quite this week, so yeah, we're just gonna go with that. So for starters, recently this was a little bit of big news, and I don't know if any of you are non-religious and any of that, so I hope I don't offend when I say this. So McMahon recently survived a airplane crash, and well, thankfully he was safe. I don't want to say from the get-go, because I mean the landing shouldn't have happened, because, well, I mean, I'm sure that wasn't his destination to go through a emergency crash landing, but I mean, he was still technically safe from when the pilot had told him what was going on, and thankfully that was a good thing. And well, thankfully that was that's good. That's good. He was in control throughout the entire time, and yeah. So, all right. Next kind of thing I want to talk about here, which is oh, well, actually, since he survived that landing, you know, I just gotta thank God that he survived. And again, I don't know if anybody here is non-religious, so I don't hope to offend anybody when I say that. So yeah, I just had to add that little piece in. Rusev recently went on Twitter, responded, and I hope he doesn't get so much heat for this, but he responded to Shane and said, when you don't answer my videos, that's what happens. I thought that was really funny. So honestly, good for Rusev to just keep kayfabe, and yeah, because that was just a funny response from Twitter, and hopefully he doesn't get too much heat from that. If anything, hopefully he doesn't get any at all. I'd rather you get praise for that, because at least he's keeping kayfabe, and yeah. All right, so what else? All right. Oh yeah. So here's another bit of news. So Brie recently announced that she will be coming back, and I gotta say, I have a lot of respect for the Bellas, but I don't like I really don't like this idea of her coming back. And again, it's nothing against her personally, but there's just a lot of bad coming out of this, and I'm sure it's not really her fault. But the first thing I don't like is the freaking constant advertising of Total Divas and Total Bellas, whichever it is that she's going to be on. She's going to be advertised on that because, well, Or, I'm sorry. Well, you know, it's her shows and stuff, and I just now realized that she's no longer on Total Divas, but who knows? She might make a return or whatever. And, you know, I just don't want that interfering with the storylines and the action of the women's division and the women's revolution, all that stuff. Because, frankly, I'm so sick of hearing about Total Divas and Total Bellas and stuff. And honestly, I would really just wish they would cancel that show. Because really, it's not helping anybody. It's just not. So that's really the only reason I don't really want Brie Bella to come back. Aside from hearing that awful theme, that's really the only reason. Again, nothing to do against her. Because frankly, hell, she's gotten better in the ring. I've seen her matches. She isn't really bad or anything. I'll be honest here. She's a hell of a lot more watchable than she was, let's say, 5 years ago, 2010, or no, that would be 2012. Okay, well, 7 years ago, 2010. You know, here I am, still thinking I'm living in 2015. My dumb ass. Anyway, you know, when it came to 2010, you know, they would both just botch a lot. They were terrible sellers, her and her sister. And now look at them. Brie Bella's so good at selling, it's crazy. She's so good in the ring. She's very agile. She was, you know, and then Nikki Bella's become a little more of a powerhouse. She's taken quite the moveset right there. And, you know, it's really fun to watch these two grow. You know, these are actually homegrown talent. You know, they're not indie stars. So I have utter respect for both of the Bellas. But again, seeing either of these two on my TV is just, again, for reasons other than any issues against them personally, it's really not an appeal to me. You know, if you take away the Total Divas and Total Bellas, take away that constant advertisement, take away that nonsensical plethora of just pure and utter distraction to what's going on with the storylines, I really don't mind the Bellas being on TV. I really don't. So it's just a matter of hoping that Total Bellas and Total Divas get canceled at this point, which I know seems unlikely, but man can only hope, man, because, you know, I would really like to see what they could do without them having the reliance of Total Bellas to progress storylines, because it's nonsensical. It's epic stupidity. Alright, so I just wanted to give my tidbit of news on Brie Bella and Shane McMahon, and I apologize for my voice right now. I just woke up and I just had to get this out of the way as quickly as possible. So, alright, let's get into the kickoff show for Battleground 2017. We got Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English, and honestly, I'm just gonna go for who I want here and say Aiden English, because why the hell not? I don't really know who to go for here. You can't really go wrong with either of these guys. I like the both of them. If it were up to me, I would go with English, because I would like to see how far they could go with him. I would like to see him be at least at a mid-card title. I would love to see him challenge for the U.S. title, work a program with AJ Styles or something like that. I would pay money to see that. Hell, I like his mic skills. I like the way he sells. I like his movesets. And frankly, just the more I see the guy, the more I tend to like the guy. So, yeah, I'll go with that for Aiden English. Of course, I would not mind Ty Dillinger winning either way, but my prediction is going to be on Aiden. Alright, next we got Mike Kanellis versus Sami Zayn. And I think we're just putting over Sami Zayn to put over Mike and Maria Kanellis. So it just, if I have to pick, it's going to be Mike to win in his not even debut match anymore, because they wasted that on SmackDown, but his debut pay-per-view match, I suppose, is what the context of the word is. Anyway, so yeah, it's gonna be Mike Kanellis. Yeah, that's really it. Alright, so next we got the SmackDown Women's number one contender 5-way elimination. Wow, they wrote a long stipulation here. Just put a 5. Well, I guess there's not really another way to write it. Alright, so frankly, I'm looking at all 5 of these people, and really it's just the only one that sticks out to me as being the realistic contender for Naomi's title is Charlotte. Now, I know recently I said that it'll either be Charlotte or Becky, because Becky got the win on Tuesday. But I think that's just a little herring. Now that I think about it, it's just a little bit of a herring to place thought in everyone's mind that Becky is going to win. And I would love to think so. I guess for my want, that would be Becky to win. And I guess if I'm picking a wild card prediction to kind of think somebody's actually going to get a shot at Naomi's title, would be Natalya. So that would be kind of my wild card. But who I think is going to win is Charlotte. I just, look, they have continued business. Their next pay-per-view is going to be at SummerSlam. It only makes sense for them to have their match to kind of blow off their feud there. And whatever happens. You know, I could see Charlotte winning it at SummerSlam and then continuing the feud there as well. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I could be wrong. Maybe Natalya, I want to say maybe, but I don't know if I see any of the heels winning. I would like to think Becky would be the winner here, but no, I think it's going to be Charlotte. Again, it makes all the most sense. And you know what? I think Charlotte would make the most sense, especially just given what I've mentioned, you know, the continuity, the unfinished business, the storyline that's already there, the fact that it's going to go into the Big Four. On top of that, she's arguably the biggest name of these 5 women, and that's not to disrespect any of the women. I mean that with all the respect in the world, but I think if you were to ask any wrestling fan right now who's the biggest woman in terms of name brand on both SmackDown and Raw, it would probably be Charlotte. Most would probably answer Charlotte or Alexa Bliss. And yeah, so I think I'm going to go with Charlotte in terms of all those reasons that I listed. My wild card is going to be Natalya, and my hope is going to be Becky. So, yeah. Alright, so let's go down and let's talk about the Usos versus the New Day. And I'm going to go with the Usos to win here. I like the New Day. They've gotten a lot more pleasant. Their comedy has gotten so much better since moving over to SmackDown. I wonder why that is. And then the fact that they bounce off of the Usos, they work really well together. These two have chemistry for life. And frankly, I don't mind either of these two winning here, but I think logically you should still have the Usos win and keep building them up for that way when somebody does beat them, whoever works a program with them at SummerSlam can get a big win here and get a big elevation. And I would really love to see who would be the ones to dethrone the Usos. I think the New Day, they could, but I don't know. I feel like this might be a little too early. So I'm hoping that the Usos win. Alright. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. I'm going to go with Shinsuke Nakamura. I personally would keep the winning streak going for him. And yeah, just like he had on NXT, he never lost. So I would go with Nakamura. I don't really care for Corbin. No disrespect to him, but I don't. Honestly, he's got the Money in the Bank contract, so I could see why they would have Corbin to win. But I think, from what I know, going off of what I know here, they've typically had their Money in the Bank winners lose a lot anyway. But I don't see them doing that to Corbin. So I don't know. It's tough to really say here. It's a little bit of a close call here, but I'm gonna go with Nakamura winning here. Yeah, just because I want him to continue that winning streak. And I know he lost on SmackDown, but he hasn't been pinned, which is basically what I refer to. Nobody's pinned or submitted Nakamura yet. And I don't want Baron Corbin to be the one. Next, we got John Cena versus Rusev in the flag match. John Cena, I don't see Rusev winning it. And I would like to think, but nah, it's probably gonna be Cena, and that's pretty much what it is. All right. Next, we got AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. AJ Styles, I don't know. He just won the title. Don't really see Kevin Owens taking it back, but I mean, maybe. But what would be the fun in that? Just what would have been the point in just giving the title to Styles and then just throwing it back over to Kevin? It just, I don't know. That would just be illogical in my opinion. But I don't know. Stranger things have happened. I'm gonna go with Styles. Next, we got Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal, and really, I just don't care who wins. I don't know. I would rather see any other person on the roster than these two be WWE champion. Even Baron Corbin. So I'm going to go with today being the night Baron Corbin cashes in and Jinder Mahal might lose to Randy Orton. Because I don't know, I don't really see a heel versus heel thing going for Jinder Mahal and Baron Corbin. Although I suppose I could see that, and then that would take Randy Orton out of the thing. But Randy Orton and then Baron Corbin's going to cash in. Overall, that's my predictions. Good night, guys.